Welcome everyone. This is Sudama, Mark Kennedy. We're going to do a little meditation on how stress creates fat. So we're just going to drop into meditation for a while. Experience that oceanic energy. Nice deep breath. Welcome everyone. Breathing. Ooh. Expanding into the ocean of consciousness. So yummy. Breathing through the nose. We're just going to let the standing wave of this sound field drop you deeper. Notice each string is its own unique standing wave. Especially when it's in tune. Let the sound take you deeper. Breathing through the nose. Fresh oxygen coming in, fresh prana coming in. Aligning with the earth, just feeling the earth, the gravity that loves you. Beautiful gravity. Earth Mother loving you with every tug. Oxygenating the cells, oxygenating the brain. Hello, New Jersey. Expanding. Oxygen is our upliftment. Oxygen is love. Oxygen is prana shakti. Bathing in the oxygen, releasing, relaxing, restoring, rejuvenating. Just let the day slip away. Whatever stress is accumulated, that's okay. Just let it slip away. If you're not feeling so good today, just let all that stress slip away. More oxygen coming in, delicious oxygen. Just being itself, just presence, just being there, so good, so fulfilling in and of itself. There's so many distractions in the day that want our attention. Much better to just come within right now, just releasing the outside world and all of its tugs and pulls. This is like special time for your inner heart, your inner being. Just want to bathe in consciousness, bathe in that light that radiates out, circulating through the blood, spiraling your blood. Beautiful feeling, spiraling. And then just noticing, again, gravity. Until you don't feel heavy. Or it's like a loving gravity shifts something. It makes it more, rather than, right? So it's going to find that lightness. And clear the stress. Just letting silence kind of slip in. Breathing. And you can make little sounds like Humming is really good for you. It vibrates the heart, vibrates this throat chakra that's governed by the noble gas of neon, which governs a very important triangle of calcium, iodine, and phosphorus in the throat, which governs our metabolism. So yesterday was more of an explanation about how stress can create fat, how it gates it. I'll review that a little bit. And then today we can work more on actually deleting the stuff. And if it's not fat that you want to delete, there's all sorts of things we might need to delete from past pain, chronic stuff. Our minds are very powerful. So when we send these afflictions off to the black hole, magic happens, right? We're voice activated, we're voice reactivated, sometimes we're voice deactivated. So using this understanding that emotions drive the DNA. And so your DNA can contract, it can expand, vibrate in different ways. And that kind of lights up a grid of the past. Maybe you had ancestors that had afflictions, and these afflictions are now being reactivated and sort of on repeat. So we want to delete the repeat and be more complete. So something very heavy in the past is the past itself, right? So there are no electrons focusing on the past at the moment. They're all focusing on the future, on the now, moving forward. So we're just going to be in the presence of the now, the power of now. Nice deep breath. Beautiful peace, just settling in. Okay, so we'll just work with one string for a minute. Standing wave. Contained. Just like us. What's important about that is the standing wave carries information. All waves carry information. We're essentially a very interesting assembly of waves, intersecting waves, seeking coherency. Sort of a stressful event, us. So as we discussed yesterday, the radar systems of the body connect to the deep self, and then this other part of the brain is working, is trying to understand everything, uses that as the comparative. And so we're constantly relativizing back to the central reference. And let's just make that central reference today peace, the supreme being, the supreme being. Just referencing stillness. Most issues are the brain gets scrambled, the cells are thrown off, we lose our center. So we want to come to center, come to alignment down the middle. Good feeling, attracting the healing. Breathing. And just let that first wave of peace kind of resolve. There's many layers to us. Some layers are vibrating up near the surface, need attention. So what's looking for attention? So just notice where in your body you feel stressed. What in your body's not right? just gonna come to peace and park in that place. If you have something in your heart that's not right, we bring that, take this loving field into the heart, a strong intention of healing. If you've just come back from Barbados and don't know how to deal with Toronto, you know who you are. You can just remember that you have Barbados on the inside in many ways. It's a feeling. It's tough to go from lush jungle to harsh climate. But we want to remember that essentially we're 70% water. Let's just notice what the implications of that are. Water is highly conductive. And so the body takes it upon itself to try to keep electrical surges from happening, right? Surges of stress that come in, the body will send fatty acids to the rescue. You've heard of Watergate. Well, that's kind of what's going on, right? The water is a conductor of electricity. When the body wants to slow that metabolic rate down, the water which has assembled the particles, has given birth to these particles, is now subject to their density. And so water, wondrous water, which crawled out of the riverbed and became us, this wondrous water gets blocked up. And so part of meditation, part of the value of meditation is the fire of the Kundalini, the fire of our practice, the fire of attention, this conscious awareness in the body will burn up blockage, congestion, inflammation, anything that gets in there that's causing you stress. When things flow, you almost don't notice it. It feels so good. But when there's blockage, it gets right. It's like a car trying to start. It just won't. So notice, where is there some kind of irregularity in your being? And that's the purpose of this kind of meditation, is to liberate us from blockage, congestion, inflammation, infection, infestation, all these things that come in and create affliction, addiction, constriction. Not what you want. So remembering that peace is already there, just waiting for us to tap in. This beautiful ocean that's there. This ocean that's just welling up inside, just floating our boat. The water principle, so divine, so full of light. Just feel this incredible radiation that you are. Breathing through the nose, relaxing brain, settling into the hips. Your body starts to disappear. Your mind quiets down. And as we spoke about yesterday, the heart sends its mighty beat down the aorta. It bounces off the place where it bifurcates into the legs and bounces back up. And when that echo comes back up, we need to breathe in synchronous rhythm with that. Otherwise, there's a big interference pattern. We're highly agitated, not good. And so, in a sense, ultimately, in meditation, the less you breathe, the better, because the breathing creates this initial kind of cyclone of incoherency that's gathering itself, and then it funnels it into like a laser beam of coherency, and that outflux, that outflow is the heartbeat just sort of smoothing out, right? There's this initial, and then this nice fade off. And so the heartbeat looks jagged and irregular, basically because your breathing is not in sync with your heart. All right, so that's what we want. Meditation will balance your heart and your breath. By just becoming still, that is the magic. The less you breathe, in a sense, the less turbulence. And so you don't want to underbreathe initially. You want to oxygenate, but then you want to bring it down to where you almost don't have to breathe. And then there's lots of spacious graciousness. That openness creates this, it's like a glide ride. We're just... And that creates rhythm entrainment. Rhythm entrainment is like an army of soldiers walking in perfect rhythm. And then somebody stumbles and can throw off the whole system, right? A whole part of that army could get out of phase, out of step, and then usually it reassembles itself, right? So the body's doing something similar. It gets out of phase, out of step. And so what do we need to do with this sort of inner pilot light? We want to guide those planes back to the runway, bring it all back home, thanking the organs and the glands. When we get stressed, we basically have forgotten about the internal environment. And we're getting caught up in the external reality, which is quite a dramatic reality. But here we are on the inside out restoration. This is a mighty restoration. Wavelengths can be added together and create bigger wavelengths. It's like adding infinities in math. You have more infinities. This wavelength plus this wavelength, there's this big wavelength. So we bring all these little wavelengths of the body, all these little thoughts that are vibrating, agitations, bad feelings, whatever's going on. I want to smoothen them out into these larger waves, into kind of a longing, or elongating the waveforms, smoothing them out, and you'll notice that feels different. Supported by the breath, gentle, smoothing out, coming to peace. And so when you get really still, you notice what you don't need. You don't need the past. You don't really even need the future. You don't really even need to think. There's this knowing that occurs through the speed of light, intuition. There's a natural expansion. It follows confusion. That's one good thing about confusion. It's usually followed by something the opposite. It's a kind of a rhythm phenomenon. In a sense, your gathering of your breath is a kind of confusion. All these particles are spinning around, ions. Gather up and into the entrainment, it flows. And then there's that point in between, that nodal point where the standing wave stands. The heart has its own nodal points with its standing waves. The breath has its standing waves. Your whole being is a standing wave. Makes me want to sit up. Just breathing into the standing wave that you are. The brain is a fractal of amazing volume of information, sending out electromagnetic pulses to infinity at the speed of light. Just notice that you're this ball of spinning light coming to coherency. Cohere and see. Come here and see. Coherency. Bringing it to peace. It's a little repetitive, but the repetition is kind of what does it. Too many crazy thoughts all over the place. Come back to peace. Smooth entrainment. Pure I am awareness begins to crystallize. Once we allow the visual screen to calm down, the brain calms down, the organs and glands come into synchronic rhythm with each other. You're a musical being. You are music from this point of view. Just noticing your unique rhythms, unique frequencies. Okay, what I'm feeling in the group, or maybe I'm feeling this in the world, feeling this in myself, there's a fatigue out there. The cover of, I guess it's Scientific American, is about COVID dreams, right? The virus has penetrated people's dreams. So let's clear that stuff. Let's do some serious clearing now. We've begun earlier, releasing the past, say other lifetimes, collective burden, collective anxiety, release. Everybody that's worrying about something, that affects everyone. Even if they're not worrying about that thing, they're still being affected by the collective fear, collective anxiety. So let's say for this group, anyone tuning into this, we're consciously clearing collective anxiety, collective stress, and call it collective exhaustion. So the most profound clearing that I know to do in this instant for that is to clear your central nervous system for fatigue. Let's feel that hit. Boom, like an incoming mail. Shaboom, just landed, bam. It's like surgical strike to the central nervous system to clear toxins out of the cerebral spinal fluid. The spinal cord itself can be beautiful and resonant. Master control center up in the glands, connecting to central nervous system, connecting to human growth hormone, connecting to nutrients, clearing the fatigue. Stronger for oxygenation, more glucose to your organs and glands. Glucose, wondrous stuff, mostly hydrogen, C6H12O6, right? 12 parts hydrogen. Sugar is hydrogen, little carbon, little oxygen. One of the first things that's created after water in this downloading of this hydrogen becomes us, becomes the atomic table of us, degrades to different pressure grids. So we were just working this helium center in the brain, the noble gas, the center of the brain. It's working with water, carbon, and nitrogen, right? Carbon-nitrogen cycle with the water principle. It's like the function of the helium. That's the job of the helium. It's like the lieutenant of the hydrogen. Hydrogen, hydrogen, helium. 80%, 20%, and then whatever's left over is the rest of the universe, and here we are. And so we're strengthening this nitrogen carbon cycle. Carbon nitrogen cycle. If it's tweaked one way or the other, we could decay too much, or growth could happen in ways you don't want, right? Swelling, tumors. We want that arrow to be in the middle, the perfect water pressure of the body, perfect pH, percentage of the hydrogen, balancing the equation of pressure in the body. Stress is when pressure starts to build up in ways your body has a difficult time with, and it goes to work. Basically the hormones are there to sense the pressure drop or the pressure increase and relay these messages from central control to accommodate that. So if in meditation we come to the central control, the glands in the brain, the drivers of the metabolism, the thyroid, pituitary, human growth hormone, the sodium, I'm just feeling this alignment down the middle. So these upper levels, this alkaline spectrum of the body comes to peace, comes to balance. Any mineralization, stuckness, of calcified stuff, barnacles, just delete, melt, ionize. So body is flowing, cerebrospinal fluid is flowing. Spiraling the blood, energizing the blood, strengthening, this is important, the ATP energy. So what the glucose sets in motion, oxygen sets in motion, adenosine triphosphate. It's like sending these powerful phosphate explosive materials to your cells where they activate the mitochondria. That ATP. It's good for racing cars. It's good for you. Adenosine triphosphate. And then the adenosine is the excess buildup. It's like the delivery system. Once it's gotten those phosphates to your cells, these rocket boosters fall back into the blood and need to be eliminated. So let's say in this moment, we're just clearing excess adenosine, which is why you might have to sleep at night, right? The buildup of amyloids, just garbage in the blood, right? After a long day, too much garbage in the blood and you're out, right? So that's why we need to sleep. Blood needs to clean at night. Remember, I used to live in southern Manhattan. When I visit my parents, we look out the window and these giant office buildings would be all lit up at night with the cleaning crew, right? Be working overtime. That's kind of like the brain at night. It's totally awake, 100% awake, while you're in the black hole of sleep. Your brain is working hard to clean amyloid, especially this adenosine from the ATP energy. Meditation will also burn this stuff up, which is, people say, oh, I meditated, I don't need as much sleep. I wonder why that is. Well, basically, you are cooking the stuff, the garbage that shouldn't be there with this sort of high intensity alignment meditation. Your Kundalini Shakti, this beautiful circulatory power of consciousness, will do the job for you. You just need to give it the opportunity. Off to the spam file, all this stuff goes, right? The supercomputer is beyond brilliant. It just needs a little love and grace and coaxing. So let's tune into that super biocomputer that you are, your central nervous system. It connects to your peripheral nervous system. It connects to your somatic system. and your autonomic system, and your peripheral system. 5 nervous systems integrating. If you are truly in tune, your nervous system's in tune, no fat gating necessary, no rushing to the rescue with fat, no trying to chill down the surges of electrical, not necessary, body doing the job. All right. Integration of homeostatic principles, body's working overtime to bring negative electric pressure, positive electric pressure to balance. And that's called water. All right. Water is the measure of perfect balance. H2O, there's that hydrogen again. That hydrogen kind of gets into the thing there and makes us all fluffy and happy. If you have pain, basically you are lacking in the hydrogen in some way. So that's the understanding with the pH, right? We want to call in more hydrogen, drink it in, breathe it in. The oxygen moves the current, pulls in the hydrogen ions. And essentially, your brain is like a Vegas fountain of hydrogen ions, just cascading down, keeping you alive, keeping you from going into that acid-base destruction, right? Which is the cause of disease, pain, suffering, everything that's bad comes from too many people jamming into your elevator, basically. So let those folks out, all right? Clean out your closets. Remember, my Baba used to say, Baba lives in your drawers, right? Clean out your closets. Where there's stuckness, blockage, clear it out. Then there'll be flow, right? Feng Shui is not just for your apartment. Feng Shui is for the brain. Feng Shui is for the organs and glands. Feng Shui is for the energy systems. Basically, we're an assembly of minerals, vitamins, atomic elements, operating under the powers of water, wood, fire, the invisible elements, earth, and metal. At least that's the Chinese way of thinking. Let's just notice the elements in your body right now. We'll do a little elemental meditation. We'll just go through each one. It's really nice for bringing attention and love to parts of your body that get neglected. One of the great causes of stress, I would suggest, is shadow projection, positive, negative shadow projection, generating tremendous stress, not loving ourselves, not loving our body parts, right? We have this sort of shadow issues with hating ourselves ultimately. And so when we love the glands up, love the organs, love ourselves up, kind of releases that charge that's hiding in there. So we'll just travel elementally for a minute here. So let's start with the water principle like we've been working with. That is the jurisdiction of your kidneys and your bladder. It's also this beautiful connection to the ancestral worlds. All the information of the ancestors comes through the water. It's like the bubbling springs of our watery being. Keeping it fresh. Energizing the water element, strengthening the water element, hydrating the cells, cleansing the body, clearing out the stress, removing toxins, accumulations, just allowing the natural fatty acids, the fats, the oils to galvanize the skin, to myelinize the nerves, basically to do the repair work. So this beautiful water, just thanking the water energy, Loving your water principle carries that within you. You'll feel the glow. Water is alive. Living water remembers. As we know from Dr. Emoto, when you talk to the water, it's going to respond to your vibration. It's going to reflect what you're sending. And that's kind of what we do with our mirror neurons and our water principle. We reflect what people send to us. We receive their vibration, reflect it back. And sometimes maybe they're sending us things that aren't so great. So we can just like send it into the earth. Earth Mother on the surface of the earth is a negative plate. And so it will pull this stuff down. Just drop it into the earth. Thank you, Mom. And then the water feeds the wood. Water feeds the liver. The liver is the expanding principle. So many things require this wood expansion. Your business, your body, everything requires growth, right? This carbon cycle expanding. We've spent quite a while observing the nature of our capture in the last, whatever it is now, 9 months. So noticing that deeper than the capture is the rapture, right? Deeper than the capture is a pasture of peace. Just feeling that. Wood energy enlivening you, inspiring your future. If your business is warbling, energizing the liver is a great thing to do. It connects to the Father energy. So we want to send blessings to the Sky Father, your Father. The Father energy is the witness, like the sentinel, the warrior, the deep abider, pure presence, awareness itself. Just becoming that awareness itself. And then we notice that the liver is sending wood to the bonfire of the heart. Experiencing that surge. This liver does its job, delivering fuel to the fire. Heart, small intestine, integration, receiving the fuel of the fire for the fire. I'm just going to bask. We're just beaming out love, just feeling that explosion of love from the inside out. So great. You'll know the feeling. We just forget that we're made out of the stuff. Don't need to get it from the outside in quite the same way we think. It's always good to get it from the outside, but there's a fountain on the inside that's ever full, basking in the glow. Again, speaking of it as that rhythm entrainment, we're all in the rhythm entrainment of this feeling right now. Good feeling attracts healing. Homeopathic principle, like attracts like. heart, small intestine, assimilating reality completely and totally to the best of your ability, 100%. What more can you do? And then we surrender to the good feeling that is naturally there from this 51% platform, inside out. Nobody can mess with you. You can always take refuge in the love. It's like a CIA safe house. Essential intelligence, awareness, CIA. And for better information, for FBI, contact your representative of the Supreme. That would be you. No intermediaries necessary. Just direct connect to the source of the force. You own it. We just need to be reminded of how powerful we are. The world wants to tell you how weak you are. You need more stuff. That you're not enough. So we want to just kind of refluff, smooth out the rough, feel enough. Peace. Carl Jung would say that disease is an interrupted story. Like something came in and traumatized us, interrupted our flow. So where there's some interruption, I want to find that and smoothen it back out. Restore the flow. Whether it's a heart attack, a trauma, an accident. Jung also said that mental illness comes from family issues. So if we're in harmony with the family, the mind will be at peace. And he also said that most of these afflictions come from not legitimately experiencing suffering. We're not experiencing legitimate suffering. We're somehow avoiding reality, right? We're resisting it. So just let it wash through you, own it. Clear the interruption that is this dis-ease. You could say, why do we get stressed out? Why do we gate with fat? Why does negative electric pressure pull in this bad stuff? Right? We got whacked. Right? We got thrown off course. And your super balancing agencies are working overtime to bring you back, but it's not easy sometimes, especially when the whole world feels like it's got hit by a truck. So, rebalancing, realigning with this nodal point. It's like, remember those clown dolls we had as kids, right? You could punch the top and bounce back up if it had ballast. There was sand at the bottom. It had weight. You too have this, it's called chakra 10. It's under the feet. Feel this sort of weighty, it's like a bell buoy at sea. It has an anchored heaviness to it that keeps it upright in the waves. We too have this buoyancy. We're just going to feel that. That relaxes the brain too. It brings the energy down to the lower body. Creates all this space at the top. And then brilliant ideas and amazing things can come in. So just clearing that space, opening it up. So the future can roll in. There's room for it. This triple warmer where we got up to earlier, a sac around the heart, and then the brain, the heart, the gut, always needs balancing. One of these is often out of phase, or feeling too much, or emoting too much, or thinking too much. Bring all of these three back into harmony. And then disease is unnecessary. It's basically your body trying to heal itself. Any symptom is your body trying to heal itself. You could say that anything that's wrong is a healing going on. So just remembering all these symptoms are the body's warning systems, barometers, effectors, connectors, reflectors, listening in, adjusting itself. It's a genius. So like yesterday, we're going to send more glucose to the brain, glucose to your heart, glucose to organs and glands, more energy being sent from the liver, delivered, special delivery, ATP to the cells, energizing the systems. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. The 0 point energy. Always energy that we're pulling out of the vacuum, this wonderful vacuum space that we are. And that energizes stomach, spleen, earth energy, which then anchors the metal element in the lungs and the large intestine, which brings it back to the kidneys, and the Sheng cycle is complete. Just feel that flows, all the organs and glands talk to each other better. Just sending them a little extra love. I love you guys, thank you. Whichever organ might be afflicted in you, give it a little extra attention, extra love. You can use your beautiful Reiki hands to energize that part, relaxing your eyeballs, softening. So we're just going to move into some music. It's allowing your mind to become still. Let the sound take you. A little journey. The scale that I'm going to play is on a CD of mine called Green Evolution, and you could say it's an improvisation on the scale of Nepal Dreaming. Beautiful breath. As light as you feel at some level, right? When you're just walking along, you don't necessarily feel like you weigh much, do you? At least I don't. Maybe I don't. But we can have this feeling like, woo, just you could weigh 700 pounds and just be flowing right along, right? Weigh nothing. Very much of a mental thing. So I thought, on a lighter note, speaking of lighter, well, quick ad for my YouTube channel. Check it out. At least 20 of these meditations are up right now with music and all kinds of goodies. So just subscribe, just go to YouTube, Sudama Mark Kennedy, and you're there. Okay, quick story before we're gonna do a little blessing for folks who are looking for a lover, okay? Male or female, we have the mantras for you. Okay, quick story. My friend Shanti, she chants deep, heavy meditative music from India, and she introduced me to, once upon a time, to her spiritual teacher because she wanted me to heal him. And he had all sorts of issues, but one of them was he was gaining way too much weight. And he sort of asked me my advice, and I said, well, if I may say so for myself, nothing like a good wife wouldn't fix. A good lover, you need to have the fire lit underneath you. And he laughed so hard, and he said, sir, your diagnosis is very correct. So sometimes you just might need a patim, right? So, O power of truth, please let me attract a spouse. This is for the female. Sorry, this is for the male. Please let me attract a spouse carrying the supreme feminine energy, manifesting abundance and creativity. Again, the translation, O power of truth, let me attract a spouse carrying the supreme feminine energy, manifesting abundance and creativity. Narayani patim dehi shrim klim parameshwari. Narayani patim dehi shrim klim parameshwari. These are like Lakshmi mantras. And then for the female wanting a man, Sat patim dehi parameshwara. Sat patim dehi parameshwara. Please give me a man of truth who embodies the perfect masculine attributes. Well, there's a blessing for that. And I was thinking just finish off the evening with a little beatbox. If you're feeling a little sleepy and like you want to go move on, I thought we'd just groove on for a minute. And I'm just going to play 2 chords. But so just feel this, and if you're in a truly deep meditative mode, maybe this is the time to fade this out. But if you feel like moving a little Shakti, just feel like you want to move. Feel if you want to groove. Move your body, body, body. Make up your own beatbox. Just 2 chords. Is all you need, all you need, all you need. 2 chords. So someone is thanking us here. Thank you so much. Barely stand when she started the day. Dancing, dancing. Thank you for hanging in there. Much love to you. That's right, all you need is 2 chords. Glad you liked it. Namaste, everyone. Next week, Monday at 5, we'll be live. Namaste.